Squirrel emotions is very funny.
Yeah, squirrel emotions are hilarious.
But the idea of running your life like what's wrong? Where are you? Where'd I put my nuts? That is like what anxiety's like. Like it's like being like a prey animal. We were living like we were prey animals, and it's like nobody is hunting you.
I think for a while there was some fear in my personal life. There were some hunters for sure, but like yeah, no, that's definitely whenever I see a squirrel, I think that's always why I like squirrels. I just kind of felt like, oh, that's my vibe. Like I'm very much like, what the fuck? What do I do? Ah! Like that was my life. Pretty much almost the entire time until maybe about 7 months ago when I started popping pills that a doctor gave me called Zoloft. And then and I was like, oh, wow. They're so strong, dude. Before this podcast, I was like, I got done working, and I was like, oh, sweet, I have time to do the dishes for a podcast. And I felt happy about it, and I was like, who the fuck am I? I was just like...
Dude, that's the craziest thing about, like... Tried. I'm like 3 months into my new Prozac strength now, and it's like really finally like doing better. I'm the best I've ever been in my life, and it's like things are just easy, which is crazy. Like the idea that like doing laundry doesn't take me 3 hours to psych myself up for is like, wow, life without depression is so much easier. It's like going from a squirrel to I guess a human being.
I guess I like how you're trying to think of it. What's an animal that's kind of reasonable, huh?
Oh, yeah. I'm a person now.
Yeah, me. Yeah. I mean, it's amazing how much easier life is when you don't want to kill yourself. I mean,
it's a lot easier.
There's like, I think about other stuff.
I think about like stuff. My brain like does stuff now. Yeah,
it's pretty wild. And you know, it's kind of nice, especially right now. I'm living at my mom's house just temporarily, not forever, but I'm just visiting right now. And I feel like, see, I need Zoloft because I was born in America. She doesn't, because she just has perspective. She just has memories. And I feel like she's just, like, the immigrant mom is just human Zoloft. Like, after work, I was just kind of stressed out. She's like, why? You just look at a computer screen. You don't even... I have like a real job. I was like, yeah, you're right, Mom. Just anytime you bring up like remote stress, they just try to top that with like, I remember when the earthquake killed half my class, and you're like, okay, yeah.
I guess I'll calm down.
Yeah. Like, I got nothing to complain about.
Isn't it funny that sometimes that's what you need is like not to have your problems like validated, but sometimes just to have them. Like I was doing this little like meditation app thing, and it was like, think of a mantra that a friend would tell you. And I was like, what do my friends tell me when I need to feel better? They're like, dude, shut the fuck up and calm down. And it actually made me feel so much better. I'm like, sometimes what you need to hear is just like, shut the fuck up, dude.
Call it a day. Yeah, you just need someone to like slap you with the face. Because if someone's like, I understand, that's so stressful. And then you're like, yeah, you're right. But if someone's like, shut up, you bitch. I'm like, okay, there's some logic. There's some logic.
It's like the same reason people take cold showers to feel better. Sometimes you need to be like, oh, okay. No, I want to live, and this is nothing.
It's really... I want to live, and this is nothing. Yeah. There has been one, in terms of mental health, I am a little rattled because there's, I stay with your mom. My mom's a single woman in her dating life. So
oh, no.
That's kind of like, I came back from a show the other day, kind of late. And I just was like, all right, I'm going to see if there's anything to eat in the fridge. And then when I come in, I just see 2 empty bottles of tequila and then a random guy's shoes. And then my next thought was, for the love of God, don't let me hear anything because I will kill myself. I will walk outside and stab myself in the face.
I mean, it's the odds. Okay, I don't mean this insensitively, but your mom is deaf. So it might be louder than a not deaf person's sex.
I mean, if you've seen Coda, there's a scene where like the parents like start fighting, and they have no idea how loud they're being. I mean, it would sound like 2 seals fighting. I mean, it's like she also only dates deaf guys, so they would have no idea.
Oh my God.
So yeah.
Oh my God. What happened?
Oh my God. I
was
terrified. Well, I just stood there like a deer for a second. I was like, no. But I didn't hear anything. It was silence. I'm like, I think whoever they are, they're passed out. I'm just going to go upstairs, lock the door, and just not interact with that. until later. And then in the morning, my mom's like coming down, like hungover, just like, I didn't think you'd be back. Like my mom's also saving me, like, you were doing shows. I thought you'd be out getting laid. Like, my mom's like basically calling me a loser. She's like, yeah, you're at Goodnight's Comedy Club and you couldn't get some action. I figured you'd be out. I don't know. I didn't realize my son was such a bitch that he was
You
gonna
come back that night. She's like, oh, rough set.
yeah. Pretty much. She's like, oh, you want to borrow my tampon? But yeah. And then, then I just, it's like also awkward to like, see your mom do it. And then she's just like, do you want any breakfast? And I'm like, oh, I'm going to come back later. Like, I was like, I can't interact with you right now.
Did you meet the guy?
Yeah, there's just like he was like, hey, how was the show? And I'm like, we don't need to talk. I was just like, I lose.
Oh my God.
I called my brother.
There's also something. No, go ahead.
I was
Sorry.
like, I need to. Yeah, he's using his hands, because they're dead.
I say he's using his hands. You're getting like wafts of the smell of like, stop waving your hands in the fucking air vent stream.
Yeah. It's like fucking juice hits my eyes. I'm gonna kill
Jesus
myself.
Christ.
And so I just was like, I literally was like, I was like, I'm leaving. And I just grabbed breakfast with my brother. I went like a town away. I was like, I'm gonna be back later. And they were still here when I came back. Guys just like hungover, just chilling on the couch. I was like, okay, this is a little.
Honestly, good for your mom though, that she's not just like, well, I'm dating in my 40s or whatever. She's like, I'm getting drunk and I'm getting fucked.
Oh, my mom was like, this was like a frat house in here. I mean, it was like there was like
that's like inspiring to me as like a female role model.
There was like a half open bag of combos just open on the floor. She was holding her head like this, and she's like, "Fuck, man, I can't drink tequila like that." She fell and hit her arm. She's like, we both just got slammed. Like they killed like 2 bottles each, and just. So, yeah.
Bro, your mom rocks, dude. Your mom rocks so hard.
We're cut from a different quality. See, that's the thing. People want to be like, like in America, they're like, I had 5 drinks, I think I'm problematic. It's like in El Salvador, you could basically almost die. And they're like, yeah, it's Friday. Like, they just have no concept. It's like,
whatever the living through a civil war conversion rate of beers is, that's what you got to operate on.
That's pretty much that's how my mom rolls. So, yeah, there was, he's a poker player. So
very cool.
He's a deaf poker player. Not that him being deaf matters. It's just kind of interesting. He was talking about Bitcoin. That's the part that made me nauseous. He was just like, and I'm like, after crypto has like been crashing for like months, and I'm like, Mom, can you do better than dating a guy who's into cryptocurrency? That's
hilarious.
That's one of the
it's fun to know
types of human.
It's fun to know that those guys pop up in dating even when you're not in your 20s.
No,
like those guys like transcend
time. They're in the 40-year-old dating pool.
That blows my mind.
Yeah, like your mom has probably dated someone who's into cryptocurrency.
Yeah, dude. It is weird to like, well, maybe it's different like as the son, but like we talked about this a little bit, but I met my mom. Well, they're engaged now. My mom's fiance partner.
Like I think a little easier to deal with than a random man.
Yeah, because then there's emotional. There's not just like, what's your relationship to this guy? His dick, mostly. Like, I'm like, this is a guy who's part of our family. You got to just be like, how was the sex? I don't know.
No, because my mom just came down and she was just like, I'm kind of embarrassed. And I was like, I just want to leave. I don't want to talk about this. I will tune in to the white half of myself and just repress these emotions and everything. I am fully fine to not talk about this.
Was your mom the one who gave you the sex talk? Like, did you talk about stuff like that openly, or is it like, were you just like, let's just not?
I have a bit because my mom later, she kind of brought it up, but always in terms of fear. Like she was just like, don't get anyone home. Like as soon as I'm like, I'm gonna date her, she's like, don't knock anybody up. For the love of God, don't knock anybody. It wasn't like, here's what sex is. It was just like, you don't get someone pregnant, you piece of shit. And then my dad, he's a bit of a loon. He's got his own mental health issues, and he's just an individual, as the state would say. And so he when I was 5, he showed me an anthropology book of like people having sex. and it was like all these images. So I had no sort of desire to know about anything, but I saw like graphic images of sex when I was very young. So I was like, oh, I guess that's how that works.
Damn. Dude, I also got the sex talk pretty early. Like, I want to say, like, between, like, 5 to 7. Because I asked, and my parents were just really open. It was my mom. My mom was like, here's how a baby's made. But she didn't, like, and she shouldn't have explained, like, what it's like. Like, I thought it was, like, a very clinical, like, inserting a thermometer. Like, I didn't know that it was, like, animalistic. And then when I was older, I realized that. And I was like, oh, this is, like, very different from how I pictured it. But for years, I thought it was just this like clinical, like, let's make a baby now. And I'm gonna, you know what I mean?
Yeah. You don't know, because I think I hit puberty when I was like 11, and I very much was like, no, this is an animalistic thing. Like, as soon as my kid
yeah, then you
started running my life, as soon as I started getting like random boners, I was like, yeah, this is all I wanted. Plus, I had the internet as a kid, so I just started looking at weird, even just like photos of like hot women and people. I'd just be like losing my mind at like 11 and 12, and it sucked when you had the family computer, because that just felt like a real crime, you know?
Yeah, that's brutal.
Yeah, when you gotta like what you're like this.
I used to like not wanna. I was so scared of like anybody finding out that I was like whatever, like looking up stuff, and so I would Google, like, I would try to make it sound really medical and like serious. Like, I would Google like breast tissue, because I just like I was like, it wasn't porn. I was like researching.
You're like, no, I'm not.
Science.
I was kind of dumb. I just thought like, oh, I'm gonna erase the history, and then I had like a music video on another tab, and that way, if anyone came in, I could be like, I was just dancing. That's why I was sweating. Because
I was dancing. I was having a good time.
I was listening to music. And that's sometimes what I did. I'm like, oh, this is a great video. Woo! It'd like just be chilling, and yeah, and then I just would have like whatever. I started off on YouTube like a goober. I was just watching YouTube.
Oh,
videos.
I remember when like Two Girls One Cup, when everyone was talking about that, when we were in like 5th grade, middle school, everyone was like, "There's this crazy video," and I searched it on YouTube, and I was like, I guess they deleted it. Like, I didn't even have an idea that videos existed anymore.
It was pretty bad. I saw it with my cousin in middle school.
Oh, I'm so glad I didn't see that. I think that shit would have fucked me up.
For some reason, I don't know why, but
I still have never seen it. Did it mess you up?
No.
Sorry. I keep cutting you off because I'm like horrified.
This next
He's
part,
I think life messed me up.
This next part messed me up because it's like, it's two women eating shit, basically, is what it is. And then I'm at my cousin's house, and then we were
Hey, they stole our podcast idea.
Hey, you can't be doing that. Eating shit's my thing. I got mad. I'm like, these hacks. But so, and then the next moment, like mere few minutes later, I'm at my tia's house. She's basically just like, eat breakfast. And come get breakfast, kids. And they have like frijoles, like refried beans made. And it was just, I ate them anyway, but it was tough. It really fucked with me for a minute right after that. So
Oh, that's fucking gross.
it was pretty gross. But yeah, I read a lot. I was thinking about that the other day, just the amount of weird shit. I was jerking off to like erotica. I was reading like sexy stories.
Yes, I would read stories and like 100%. I actually found recently there's this app that like does like audio porn, and I was like, I'll try it. It's kind of hot, because here's my problem with porn is that it's never like good writing, and I'm like, I don't want to fuck stupid people. Do you know what I mean? And like,
such a fucking nerd. You're like, the cinematography and the script need to be better. I have had that. I have had that though, where I'm like watching porn. I'm like, this is so unrealistic. You know what I mean? Because I'll just be like, now you have to worship me or whatever, and I'm like, okay, get. I need a premise. There needs to be something there. There needs to be a reasonable.
I need stakes. I need character development.
But
the audio stuff is really interesting because it's like good stories and they talk like real people, and I'm like, that's the hottest thing.
It
is when you sound like a real dude. Yeah.
Yeah. No, reality is the hottest thing.
Absolutely.
you know what I get off to? The present moment, actually. But
boo. Boo. Bad personality. Boo.
Just threw your microphone at me on the fucking screen.
No, that's good. You should That's good. If meditation makes you come, that's nice.
There's for sure is a guy like that where he's just like, I only come when I'm being fully present.
That would be the most like masculine white dude American way to treat meditation is like, dude, you know you reach enlightenment when you just like come.
Yeah. If you really focus, you can get off without women, dude. I'm telling you. You don't need them. That's nirvana, is if men could figure out how to come without women.
That's the no attachments. I have no attachments anymore.
I have no earthly attachments. That's the eightfold pass. Is just the eight male assholes in front of you.
Yeah, you're fully a monk. You're like, I'm on a mountain. I don't need anything except my boys, dude.
I don't need anything except my boys. There's so many straight dudes where I'm like, I think you just secretly resent that you can't admit that you're gay. You know?
Yeah, dude. Oh, I mean, 1,000%.
I was even saying this the other day about, a lot of people are mad. Not a lot of these dumb conservatives are mad about like the Bud Light thing. About like that.
They had like a trans person as like a
and I'm like, I think they're really mad because that trans woman is so much hotter than anyone they'll have sex with. It's just like out of their league. So like that is unreal. Like the Bud Light spokesperson should just be like a bridge troll. You know what I mean? That's the people that do drink Bud Light are just like absolute ogres. And so to have like just a sexy hot like woman as the spokesperson, I think that's the real reason they're angry.
That's the real reason it's off-brand.
Yeah.
It's because she's beautiful.
Yeah, and also if you're mad about that, just transition into being sober so you can get your kids back. It's the real.
Yeah, I've only heard about all that stuff like third hand, but like it is so funny that they hate trans people so much that they're willing to throw away beer. Like, when have you ever seen like a bro give up beer?
I mean, that's that's like throwing away their holy water. I mean, that's basically. Also, like, it is like a real thing. Like, I was doing some shows with Jeffrey Asmus recently, and after one of them, we were just hanging out, and at the bar, one guy like came up and was talking to Jeffrey, and then he offered to buy Jeffrey a drink, and then Jeffrey was just joking around. He was just like, no Bud Light, and the guy's like, yeah, seriously, like I was such a huge Bud Light fan, but like that's my values, man. And then like I only I drink PBR. That's a semi-straight beer, and I was like, buddy, they're all pissed, by the way. They're all absolute garbage. And then also. It's just funny to be basically fangirling over another man and like, you're so awesome, I'm gonna buy you a drink, and you're like, yeah, but none of those gay drinks though, right? Shut up. What a truly miserable way to live your life.
Yeah, don't blow me in a Britney Spears shirt. That'd be gay.
Yeah. But like, there's real people that absolutely are mad about that.
It's one of those things that's like, yeah, you see that in the news, and then when you said that, I was like, oh, I forget that those are like real people somewhere. That's not like a movie lot. Like, that's real people that are upset about it. It's just like, it's so fucking stupid.
Also, that really is all America has left in terms of political change. It's like, what kind of consumer do you want to be? Not what change do you have. It's just literally a different brand. That's all it is. Because then there's going to be like the Nazi beer and like the Marxism, like socialist beer. And like, we all get different flavors of the same sweatshop. That's basically. And
they're all owned by the same company. Like, it doesn't matter.
They all are, dude. It's like,
yeah.
Like, I'm pretty leftist, but I'm like, anytime I see a shirt with like Che Guevara on it, I'm like, that is inherently against everything that guy believed. Where it's like, you're just selling you're selling that as just like an identity.
Dude, I think about that too. There's this artist, Mark Rothko, that like did these big like big paintings that are just like giant swashes of color, and he would have like specific instructions for museums on like, you need to hang it at exactly this height and light it from exactly this angle, because he was like, it should be an experience to witness it in person. And then you go to the gift shop and they're selling it on like a magnet. It's like, yeah, commercializing stuff just like sucks the soul out of it so hard. It's 100%. Insane.
Speaking of that, please subscribe to our Patreon. And buy our custom
If you're anti-commercialization, for only $2 a month, you can show how much you don't like commodification of personalities.
But that's pretty much it. That's all we get. That's all anything is.
That's our angle to. That's so fucking depressing.
Oh, man.
Well, dude, speaking of what's in the... Oh,
on the
read
bright
my
side,
mind.
taking it. We do have something to celebrate, and that's the Supreme Court said women have some rights. Not all
Let's
of them.
fucking
But
go.
you can keep the pill. You can't have the whole operation in every state, but you can keep the pill. So
Wait, and so this one is the one that it's not Plan B, right? It's the pill that you could get from like Planned Parenthood or online that actually induces an abortion.
Yeah.
Yeah, which apparently is actually how a lot of abortions are done. I didn't know that. I don't know if it's the majority, but like it's a very popular way to get an abortion because it's like less invasive, I think. Yeah.
Plus, it's like, it's just so sad that I have to be like, 8 old people in pajamas decided to have some mercy. Like, it's like, I have a phone that connects to outer space, can tell exactly where I am, and yet I just have a council of ghouls, a council of 8 skeletons making decisions to affect, like, generations. They should only be able to make decisions that will affect things in their lifetime.
Yeah, it gets
You know
smaller
what I mean?
and smaller.
Make rules about like banana pudding or something like relevant to your life.
Yeah, you're gonna live like 3 more years. What do you want for lunch today? Like,
yeah, that's it. That's the only decision you could probably handle. But just being like, you know, I don't think
they're not even
be able...
they're not even fertile anymore. Probably.
Probably, yeah. It'd
who's
be
the
weird
youngest...
if they were. You think like a 90-year-old is still.
We gotta test your cum before you take the bar. Who's the youngest person on the Supreme Court right now? How young are they? I'm gonna Google it.
It's probably Mr. I Like Beer.
Oh yeah, that guy. Yeah, the voice of Gen Z, Brett Kavanaugh.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a guy from the 1800s. They're the youngest of all time. Oh, Amy Coney Barrett, but she sucks.
Yeah, she's a nightmare. The youngest person is
God, a young conservative is so weird because it's like, who hurt you? Like, what do you? Yeah.
You just got immediately into like you're trying to be like a hall monitor for fascism. It's like so weird that I'm like any like college Republican. I'm like, so you automatically want to be a 45-year-old dad in the suburbs. You don't even want to have like a wacky like I'm gonna like ethically non-monogamous relationship, but I shove ketamine about my asshole or whatever. You're just very much like border wall security. I'm all about church and just marrying one person, sticking with it for the rest of my life. It's like
it's like politics aside, it just like is a lame way to be. Like you are like an old like 1800s like you're like a pilgrim or something. Like it is like
you're a narc. I mean,
you're a narc. You're literally a narc.
You want strict ass rules. You want everybody to think the way you think, and that's so lame for like a 19-year-old. You know?
Yeah, you're like less sex and less drugs. What?
Yeah, that's the way they should market it. It's like you're a loser. Like they always try to be like, oh, these liberals, they don't want anybody to have any fun. It's like, you're trying to get rid of casual sex. You're trying to literally destroy casual sex. And that's cancel culture. It's not being able to say a shitty joke about trans people. Cancel culture is you can't fuck somebody without a reasonable chance of getting them pregnant. You know?
Yeah, dude, that's narc behavior.
That is peak narc right there. I mean, it's like dude, if I was a political strategist, I could win every election. It's just like the other side doesn't want you to fuck. How do you feel about that?
No, that's what we need is like a leftist bro that's like, dude, they're harshing the vibe. Republicans are fucking killing the vibe, dude.
They're killing the vibe. They're very much like, you can't have an abortion. You gotta do
do you like raw sex and weed? Vote Democrat, dude.
That would win every. If we're
do you like pussy and hanging out? You might be a liberal.
We should be in DC right now, but instead they're gonna have like just a 59-year-old robot who's just like, I am all about hearing the other side. Like the other side will literally be a man foaming at the mouth, screaming the N-word, and they're like, we have to hear both sides. Like we need to reach across the aisle and see what they're saying. You know?
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane to have a boring Democrat too, because it should be easy to make it sound fun. Hillary Clinton can't be the face of like. It should be the party vibes. It is party vibes over here.
It should be like a Miley Cyrus looking person. It should be someone with like Britney Spears, head shaved off, just like smoking a joint, being like, yeah, I'm just about getting laid and having more trees. You know?
That fucking rocks.
I want to have more trees. That'll be better for outdoor festivals. I don't think it's the outdoor festival, Chad, to solve climate change. Like, we're gonna plant more trees for more people to have rains on, and that'll help. That'll help cure the ozone layer. Everything could be fine if we just vibe, dude.
It's literally about vibes.
Climate change would kill the vibe. We can't have a vibe if there's no civilization.
Underwater Coachella would suck.
Yeah, that would suck. Oh my god, they also kicked Tucker Carlson off of Fox News. I don't know.
No fucking way, really? Wait, this is the best day of my life. I'm finding this. I literally have not heard this until you said it right now.
Okay, so
what?
You sound like Donald Trump when you find out that that lady in the Supreme Court died. This is the first time I'm hearing about this. Wow, that's really sad. But
Folks, I'm learning about this live. Wait, I hate Tucker Carlson so much.
yeah, he's the worst. He's a demon monster. But because Fox News just lost like a huge lawsuit against
Dominion?
Which is, by the way, pick a different name. If you're trying to not sound like an evil, but like Dominion's not like a fun, we did nothing wrong. Like, yeah, you didn't do anything wrong, but like next time don't Dominion. Can you imagine if I just started Dominion like podcast productions? You'd be like, what? Okay, well, I feel like you're doing something wrong. But basically, they, in court proved that they knew that the claims they're making were false, and they had to pay like I think $150 million settlement. I might be wrong about that, but yeah, Tucker Carlson, because like they fired him, he left. Now, granted, he's probably gonna start like freedomtruth.org and still have like millions of listeners, but still great. I don't care. I'm gonna be happy for the temporary W.
A win is a win, baby.
A win is a win. Yeah, he's.
Let's celebrate in memoriam best Tucker Carlson moments. Maybe when they had like the gay M&M or whatever, and there was a chyron where he goes, "Miserable non-binary candy is all we deserve." That's got to be top 10 for me.
I think I've said it on the podcast before, but just the fact that he went and said that he's like, the liberals push marijuana but hate cigarettes because THC numbs you while nicotine frees your mind. That's one of the most insane things I've ever heard a person say. Which is like such a wild counterpoint to be like, no, cigarettes open your mind to question reality. It's like that's like the craziest pro-tobacco thing I've heard in my life.
That's so funny.
He just did a complete 180, and he was just like, no, weed, that really numbs you out. You really want to challenge the system, you're going to want to smoke some Newports, baby. That'll like, you're like, what?
Oh my God.
Like, that's like tobacco's last push, is they're like, all right, let's pay Tucker Carlson a bunch of money, and he's just going to say.
That's so funny. A dock worker.
If you smoke enough cigarettes, you can figure out where they're hiding the children. Like, your mind will open up, and you'll solve who Q is.
Dude, a dock worker with smoking 5 packs a day, like, I'm doing a heroic dose of cigarettes.
I'm opening.
Who's Terrence Mc...
And I've never really vaped and been like, oh, I'm finally knowing myself.
Yeah, that's what Terrence McKenna for cigarettes. You must realize that you work at a gas station.
You still have 4 more hours left till you go home, and that blows.
Damn, dude. Well, kind of good news all around. More abortions, less Tucker Carlson. What more could you ask for?
More abortions, less Tucker. If I had to say what my politics were, I would say that's more abortion, less Tucker Carlson. That is kind of what I believe in.
Well, this week it's a win on the pod, baby.
Wins on the pod. I mean, besides walking it in, my mom hugging it. But
yeah, that's not ideal.
But we're killing it. We're killing it all around. Well, hey guys, if you like this, check out our Patreon. Throw me some money so I can stop staying with my mom and hearing her hook up at all hours of the night.
More stuff on the Patreon, juicy stuff on the Patreon that's not, out for the normies. But if you want to get in on this,
the Patreon is like, it's kind of gonna be like the Fet Life of the podcast. Like, we're getting a little weirder on there for sure. The Patreon is Fields. Like,
Patreon is Fields.
Yeah, we're getting wild there.
So check us out with a ball gag in our mouth on the Patreon. I'm on
if you think I won't put a video of me and a ball gag on Patreon, you got another goddamn thing coming. I have some pales, buddy.
I'm on Instagram at Maddie2Wiener. I've got stand-up clips. Check that out. I'm on YouTube as well. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for the pod as well. See new episodes. And yeah.
Yeah, check me out at Kenyon Comedy, TikTok, Instagram. I got the clips. And yeah, hit me up on Cash App, Kenyon Adam Chick. Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening.